窓から見える輝く梅一輪一輪ほどのそのあたたが窓から見える輝く梅一輪一輪
Candy cane Andy. Nope.
Greetings, citizens of the world. We are anonymous. On March 26, 2010, the United States and the world lost a brave warrior who fought for the rights of parents, children and families everywhere. This warrior was the late Georgia Senator Nancy Schaefer, who was murdered along with her husband. Their deaths were ruled a murder-suicide, as were so many others that stand against corruption in high places. Nancy had received death threats prior to the murder, for her relentless investigation into the child welfare system of the United States. She exposed this broken system for what it is, and she authored an official government report, called The Corrupt Business of Child Protective Services, which she claimed that the report cost her seat on the Georgia Senate. In this report she outlined several cases of abuse, corruption, and pedophilia in the majority of the foster care system that was allowed to continue. Not only was she uncovering horrible examples of negligence on behalf of the system, she also found direct links to high-level pedophilia rings in Georgia, which she continued investigating after losing her seat in the Senate. She discovered that this ring was trafficking children to other states and even other countries. Nancy had just finished a video documentary that would expose a list of high-level government officials involved in a large child trafficking and pedophile operation. This was the reason that she was murdered. The murder weapon. The findings in the case file would be highly convincing except for one major problem. Never before reported. The Schaefers were not killed with the small caliber gun that the family knew they owned. They were killed with a higher caliber, untraceable weapon that no family member had ever seen before. The weapon was originally shipped to a dealer in a remote part of southern Florida in 1982, and the ownership records have since been destroyed, possibly as a result of a natural disaster. The case file was unable to establish how the Schaefers, who lived in Georgia during the 1980s, acquired the murder weapon. It also contains no explanation as to why Bruce, her husband, would not use the gun he already owned to commit the so-called suicide murder plan, but instead acquired another gun that just happened to be untraceable. The suicide notes. The suicide notes written by her husband show that he had to write them after shooting Nancy, and it would have taken him hours for him to write and assembled the material for the notes before shooting himself. The limited investigative scope was appalling, considering the high-profile circumstances surrounding the Schaefers' deaths. All items and evidence taken from the crime scene was destroyed, including the untraceable weapon that was used. The video documentary that Nancy Schaefer was working on before her death was going to expose this government corruption. The documentary was finished and ready to be released, according to William Wilkie Fain. William Fain was on the Alex Jones Show on April 1, 2010. On that show he said that the documentary was ready to be released within 3 to 4 weeks.
When is this video going to be released? And where is it going to be released? YouTube?
No, we're not going to go to YouTube. We're going to go straight to TV with it. We're getting offers from across the country, and we're just kind of sitting on it right now as far as the offers. It's in the editing and post-production right now. I'm predicting that it'll take us 3 to 4 weeks to finish it. Put the music to it, get all the documents that we need to back it up. 3 to 4 weeks to finish it. 3 to 4 weeks to finish it.
William Fain knew how important this video documentary was to Nancy Schaefer, not to mention all the children that it would have saved. If it was released, this lost video documentary would have destroyed evil, and saved so many families. William Fain even provides some details of the content included in the video documentary. This shows how powerful this video will be.
So we've got to put a stop to this, and I believe that this film and documentary is going to expose the horrors of this, and I plan on going nationwide with it.
What's the name of the film?
I haven't named it yet. I think what we're going to name it is, me and Nancy talked about it, was exposing, in the best interest, exposing the horrors of DFCS in Georgia.
And again, DFCS stands for?
Department of Family and Children's Services. Well, we've got one child that was raped. I think it's one of the worst rapes I've ever seen. 2 years, 8 months old. But DFCS didn't seize this child because they knocked on the door. It was of a rich doctor, so they believed the lady that answered the door and said, "Oh, he's not here," and yet her son was raping the child in a back room. We have the evidence. The child's dead. We have all the paperwork. One of the worst stories I've ever seen in my life. You're going to hear a story about a father who was really not even the dad of the child, but he signed the birth certificate. The mother gets caught on drugs. They came and seized the child from a father who has a good job, who offered to take care of it, put it in foster care, and by the time the child was 4, was raped 3 times by foster care parents. So they're taking our children out of a good situation sometimes and put them with these foster care. We had 2 returned the other day. Hadn't seen the mother in 30 days. When they left, they were making good grades in school, clean and healthy. They returned with lice, worms.
The video production that Nancy Schaefer paid William Fain to produce was never released. William Fain never talks about it anywhere, and there is no sign of it on his portfolio. So, what happened to Nancy Schaefer's documentary? This video documentary is damning by itself. The real documentary footage would be the scandal of the century if ever uncovered. This would show the truth with evidence of why she was murdered. These are our children, and the very future of humanity. If we do not stand for them, we stand for nothing. We will never forget you, Nancy Schaefer. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. And we do not forget. CPS, expect us.
Nancy Schaefer was the reason Nancy Schaefer was killed was she had decided to totally demolish the Child Protective Services in Georgia because she found out they were filled full of pedophiles.
And got in touch with Nancy Schaefer, Senator Nancy Schaefer, and started to get involved with her. And Nancy helped her out in her case, and then they became very close, and Sheridan started working with her. And actually, 5 days before Nancy Schaefer was found murdered, they had just finished a documentary. And the documentary was all about CPS and the theft of children, sex rings, where they sold children into prostitution. They actually shipped children out of country to other lands, other nations, and sell these children to people. They actually sell children to pedophiles in other countries. This is a real problem in our country, and